Hello, everyone. Welcome to the BullHorn. With me is Howard Lindzen. And I suppose we should start off with the Mideast turmoil. You saw gold and silver explode. Is this going to be a continuing theme? Is this where investors want to position themselves?
Well, I think what you have is obviously this trend of the government's been printing money and deflating our own dollars. So you got this underlying fundamental shift that's helping gold and silver in general. You've always had turmoil in the Middle East, but we definitely have a lot more attention being paid to it now, and there's a lot more reason, obviously, to pay attention to it. So you have these spikes. The U.S. dollar always, in times of crisis, is stronger than the fundamentals of it right now. The fundamentals are cheapen it to pay off our debt. But then you got the Middle East flare-ups. They don't want their own currencies. They want U.S. dollars. But better than U.S. dollars right now is gold and silver, theoretically.
And just, are we all watching these non-Middle Eastern oil companies? They seem to have the winds at their back. Are you looking at, for example, oil sands? Are you looking at Brazilian oil companies? What's your read on how to play what can only be described as a major oil rally underway right now?
Okay, I think we were talking about it earlier. You know a little more than me, so you can fill me in here.
Sure.
But it makes sense that Canadian stocks are going up because you don't have the politics involved of the Middle East, and yet you have oil. Obviously, the cost of extracting oil in Canada is much harder, and the currency is very strong there, which has helped. So what are you seeing? I mean, I'm not an oil player. I look for growth, but what are you seeing?
Well, no, it just appears that if you have an oil stock that is not involved with drilling in Libya, let's say, or is not reliant on the Suez Canal to move their product, they're getting a little bit of a premium multiple. You're seeing the Canadian oil stocks names taking out 52-week highs. We're trying to position there. So moving on, everyone's always curious about the latest in the Google, Facebook drama. What's happening there? What do we need to know as of right now?
Good transition. So what do we know?
I work hard on those.
We've got Facebook, which is now $65 billion, according to Second Market or SharePost evaluation. I have some smart friends in the Valley who actually continue to raise their valuations on Facebook. And then you have Google, which really controls my life. I'm on Gmail. I use all the applications within Google. And Chrome, which is now 20% of the market. And you have the Droid product.
Chrome is the browser.
Chrome is their new browser. It's fast, it's fun, it works great with Gmail, it's clean, easy to use, and it's Google. We trust it, and we use Google Docs, etc. So there's all this talk about Google being not evil, and they truly aren't. I mean, I spend 70 to 80% of my day on Google.
So if Facebook is being valued at $65 billion, Google, you would say, is undervalued based on that?
Massively undervalued based on where Facebook is valued at. Both are going to win. Both have tremendous franchises. But I, as a business person, spend my quality business time on Google.
One of the gripes about Google is that they're just nowhere in terms of social. How are they going to plug that hole? Is Twitter going to be the answer?
Great question. I don't even think there's a hole to be plugged.
Okay.
This is a little bit crazy because we're in the day one of what I call social leverage, where you're connecting and hooking into people. So I'm not worried about Google Social. They could go out and pay $6 billion for Twitter, which I actually think is they're the right buyer. But that's still not going to solve social because the way I look at Twitter is a news product. So where Twitter fits into Google is more about news.
So Google shareholders shouldn't fret about the fact that Facebook is leaps and bounds ahead on social.
You can't win every battle.
Okay.
It's just like the game of Risk. If they get to Twitter and they integrate Twitter properly, it's game, set, and match. Facebook is a nightclub. There's a lot of other worries that Facebook has, and Google shouldn't go into the nightclub business. Google is in time spent during a business workday. I love where Google is. I dread them going into social, and I think Twitter's the perfect complement to the social, platform for them.
Okay.